In December of 2019, as the seeds of the pandemic were sprouting in Wuhan, China, the Auditor General says Canada simply wasn't ready.
I am discouraged that the Public Health Agency did not address long-standing issues.
Issues going back to the SARS crisis of 2003, a failure to update emergency plans and improve disease surveillance systems, a lack of action that left the country scrambling.
These issues negatively affected the sharing of surveillance information between the agency and the provinces and territories during the pandemic.
PHAC wasn't just underprepared, it also underestimated the seriousness of the outbreak. Its pandemic early warning system failed to issue an alert.
It's unclear why an alert was not issued. And here again is where the Chief Public Health Officer was key in the response in the country, in that she was able to provide an alert to her provincial counterparts.
The Chief Public Health Officer is Dr. Teresa Tam, who the Auditor General says covered for some deficiencies by relying on her judgment rather than alert systems that didn't work.
And there's lots of things that I think we'll look forward to in terms of improving our systems as we move forward.
Leader of the opposition.
The Conservatives pinned it all on the Liberals.
Why did this government shut down Canada's pandemic warning system?
Even though the report documents decades of neglect across multiple governments.
We agree that this country, along with all countries, will need to review our response to the pandemic.
So, David, the Auditor General also found that Canada was unprepared for national quarantine measures. What did Karen Hogan say about that?
Yeah, she found some real shortcomings in the period after the border was closed to non-essential travel. And what she found is that the government had a real hard time tracking the activities of people entering Canada and required to self-isolate. So in May and June of last year, the government simply didn't know if two-thirds of travelers required to quarantine were doing it at all. And then if they had someone they suspected of not following the rules, less than half of those cases were referred to law enforcement. Now, the government says this has improved substantially in the past year, but in the early days of the pandemic, this was another trouble spot in the national response.
Okay, David, thanks.
Thank you.